Why you will never find the one. If you're a man and you want to find the right girlfriend, life partner, or wife, I'm here to disappoint you. You will never find the one right one. Can you find an amazing woman? Of course. But today, I want to destroy the concept of the one. Do I believe that there are some women who are more special than others? Of course! Are there some women who are way more compatible with who you are as a man? For sure. But there's not just one right woman. The reason that concept is so toxic is because men kill themselves over this shit. Men fall into depression and they suffer. Women have their own suffering for sure in relationships. But there are thousands, if not millions of men who have in the past or are currently suffering because they're obsessed with one woman. This one lady you met at work. This one lady you met at the gym, in yoga, wherever, in your social circle, in a bar, at a night out, during the day. She's the one. Oh, you know that feeling when you meet her and you have a connection, that feeling of a crush, you think about her, and you think, if only I could have her, my life would be perfect. I would have zero problems. I would experience eternal and utter happiness. And, well, it's my job to sell you on the idea of a relationship, right? And yes, relationships are absolutely amazing. And if you find a woman who's right for you, you're going to experience just that for a period of time. Then things are going to normalize. But you're still going to be so much more happy than without, for sure. But what you have to understand, that obsession is either neediness or a crush. It has nothing to do with love. True love has nothing to do with needing somebody. Okay, understand that. There's love, neediness, desire, and then there's the sensation of a crush. And if you think about her and you have this feeling of longing, that is either desire, neediness, or it's a crush. It has nothing to do with love. Love, as defined in most spiritual traditions, is a sensation. It's an attitude of giving, of a sense of connectedness. That's all it is. You need nothing. If you're experiencing true love, you don't need anything. Your cup runneth over. You're so full of yourself in the most positive way, not in an arrogant, you think you're better than somebody way, but in the sense of, I have all my needs met. I'm connected to a higher power, if that's what you believe in. I'm connected to life. I am full. That's why I have a lot to give. That's true love. If you really need this one woman because you think she's going to meet your needs, you've had this connection, maybe you went on a couple of dates with her, maybe you've never gone on dates with her, completely irrelevant. You think that she, this one person, is going to meet all your needs, that is either neediness, desire, or it's just a sensation of a crush. If it's neediness, you have to kill the monster while it's a baby. Don't let it become Godzilla and let it take over the city, because then it's going to take a little bit more effort to break that pattern. You have to understand that there are 4 billion women in the world. Granted, only 10 to 15% are in the right age group for you. But actually let it sink in. There are 400 million women in the world, and you found the one. David, she is the one. I'm telling you, she is the one. You haven't even met that many. What are you talking about? If you don't even have at least one date a week, you couldn't possibly make an educated choice. What are you talking about? She's not the one. Yes, maybe you have compatibility with her, maybe not. But understand that everybody can be replaced. It doesn't matter how much you miss her, if it's a past relationship, a woman who rejected you, maybe somebody who broke up with you, somebody you want to have, you might be able to get, you can't get. Whenever you obsess over one person, the technical term is called one-itis, by the way, you have to understand that you fall and prey to a logical fallacy. She is not the one. There are plenty of ones for you in the world. Granted, the percentage of women that are right for you, maybe a percentile, 1 out of very, very many. You have to meet a lot. Doesn't mean you have to go on hundreds of dates, but you have to have a lot of initial interaction points, be that online or in person, and then have a funnel, a strong qualification process, understanding what are my must-haves, my nice-to-haves, my deal breakers, and then you move it further down the funnel, so to speak. You meet her, and then you go on a first date, second date, and you evaluate over the course of 4 to 12 weeks whether you're right for each other or not, and then you might enter an exclusive relationship to then further evaluate things, because there's so many things that you need to screen for when it comes to compatibility. This is not about going for perfection. That's not what it is at all. But Whether you have a 5 out of 10 level compatibility or a 9 out of 10 level compatibility is a lifetime worth of happiness, or at least 20, 30 years worth of happiness. It really makes a tremendous difference. And the reason I have so much passion for the subject is, one, I was married to a woman who wasn't right for me. I married her because I had this fear in my chest of, I don't want to lose her. I'll never find someone like her. Have you ever had that? Where you think about a lady and you have this obsession, like, I'll never find someone like her. I've never experienced something like this. And it feels so true, doesn't it? You're completely obsessed. But maybe you've also made the experience that at some point in the past, these emotions have faded. It is just emotions that have taken over the mind. It has nothing to do with reality, and you have to divorce yourself from the idea that there is any soulmate. Soulmates don't exist. Now, do I feel like Fernanda is my soulmate? Of course. It's an amazing relationship on so many different levels. But do I know that there are plenty of other amazing women in the world? Of course. Now, it would take a shit ton, a long time to be able to replace somebody like her. I'd have to really go out and socialize a lot. And I may not want to do that, especially, like, why would I, right? So obviously you don't want to lose the person you're with. Understanding that there's abundance and that that person is not special doesn't mean she isn't special. Contradicting paradigms. You got to be able to balance two seemingly conflicting ideas in your head at the same time if you want to be able to have somewhat of a nuanced discussion. So on the one hand, she's not special. On the other hand, of course, she's super special. She's an angel. I want to spend the rest of my life with her, of course, for sure. But on the other hand, you have to understand that if you're currently obsessed over a woman, she is not that special. Marshall Rosenberg, founder of Nonviolent Communication, clearly says that any psychological need we have can be met independently of any particular person. The need for love and connection, which is one of the most fundamental needs we have as human beings, can be met independent of any particular woman. Let that sink in. She is just meeting your need. Luckily, there are a lot of amazing people in the world, and luckily our neurology is wired in a way where we can lose people, as horrendous as it may be. Perhaps she died. Maybe something horrible happened. Maybe she just broke up with you. Perhaps she's just not interested in you. We are wired in such a way that we can lose people and still find happiness. Once you understand that truth, you're much better equipped to get out there. You're coming from a place of internal abundance. Yes, you need to create external abundance, online dating, in person. We've talked about that at length. But it starts with the realization that there's no one right one. It is such a toxic idea. It is such a scarce idea. This is the only person who I can be happy with because of whatever reason. It is nonsense. You've been duped. It is absolutely not true. Let me tell you something else. Part of the reason you're only buying into this idea, part of the reason you're experiencing this crush, this neediness, this desire, perhaps negative emotions because you can't have her, is because you're not spending enough time with high-quality male friends. If you were to spend enough time with high-quality male friends, they could ground you in reality. You might be sitting there whining like a little bitch saying, I miss her. Boom! Somebody slaps you back into reality, says, what the fuck are you doing, man? Get your shit together. You got so many amazing things going for yourself in your life. You're ambitious. You're intelligent. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect. I'm sure you have your flaws and I have mine. But you have an amazing life. You have an amazing life. She's 5% of that, maybe even less. You'll easily be able to replace her. There are plenty of other women who'd be happy to take her place. You need somebody to slap you back into reality and says, what the fuck are you even doing? We need that external input sometimes. And if you don't have somebody like that in your life, let me be the source of inspiration and a gentle, loving, and kind kick in the ass for you. Understand that this world is truly abundant. Yes, meditate. Sit down for 20, 30 minutes a day. Feel all of the emotions. Let it heal. Ground yourself in the space of loving awareness. But then you have to take action. Tony Robbins says massive action is the cure-all. It's not just about the realization, which we're talking about right now. That is the first step. Then you actually have to get out there. I don't give a shit whether you like to socialize or not. If you want to find a high-quality relationship, pardon me, yeah, theoretically you can just use online dating, but it's going to do magic tricks for your levels of confidence, for your self-esteem, for your ability to set boundaries in a relationship. I know people, close friends of mine, who have moved all around the world for a woman who wasn't right for them, and then they perhaps almost got married. Thank God they maybe didn't. Lost a shit ton of time and money and resources, suffered. There are so many men, so many examples that I'm aware of, that you're aware of, that originate because you've never created abundance for yourself. You have to create abundance, not so you can become a player or a pickup artist or some bullshit. No, to choose a high quality relationship, you have to choose that relationship of abundance. Imagine you're on LinkedIn. If you work for a tech company, perhaps. If you're a business owner, slightly different story. But if you're working for a tech company and you're looking for a new job and you only have one recruiter in your inbox, the only job offer you have is from this one guy, how are you going to negotiate your salary? How are you going to negotiate the terms? Pretty poorly, huh? The probability that you're going to get on well with management, rather low. The probability that the job actually meets your preferences, rather low. The probability that it's overall something you're compatible with is rather low than if you had 7 or 8 different recruiters in your inbox begging you for an interview. That's a different story. And this is not about begging. Begging may be the wrong word, but looking for it. You want to have a relationship on eye level. Most men are slaves in relationship. Yes, women suffer tremendously in relationships, for sure, 100%. But we also have to acknowledge that there are a lot of men who suffer verbal and physical abuse in relationships. Men you'd never think that of, okay? And it's very important that these things sometimes come in very subtle ways. And you will never learn to set boundaries in a sufficient manner if you don't have enough initial interaction points. So understand there's no one right one. There are a lot of amazing people in the world. There's a bunch of crazy fucks, men and women out there, that you need to sort out. If you meet a lot of people, you're going to meet a bunch of crazy people. And you want to distance yourself from them as soon as possible. But life is beautiful. There's a lot of amazing people out there. And you have to make the decision to introduce yourself to 10, 20 new people every single week. And you don't have to do it forever. But do it for 3 months. Do it for 12 months. And then you can check out of the dating game forever. But the skill set will stay with you forever, and you will never tolerate subpar behavior from another person in a relationship. Are you going to make mistakes? Is the other person going to make mistakes? Fine, of course, we're all human. But overall, you're going to find somebody who truly treats you with respect, who loves you, who appreciates you. Somebody you're truly compatible with on many different levels. And then you can make a little bit of compromise. You can make things work. Of course, these things still happen in a relationship, for sure. But the starting point is completely different. So, here's my invitation for you. Get out there. Make a decision to introduce yourself to 10, 20 different women every single week. You might say, David, I have no idea how to do that. I have a different video on my YouTube channel here on how to overcome your fear of talking to women. Apply for a free initial consultation call if you want my help with that personally. They are paid resources. They are free resources. Nonetheless, you have to make the decision to put yourself out there. Use online dating. The world is truly abundant. Never for a second buy into scarcity. And why are you buying into scarcity? Well, because nobody slapped you back into reality. That's one reason. Not enough high quality male friends. And also your state. If you're not taking care of your physiology, if you're focusing on the wrong things, if your internal dialogue is quite heavy and negative, that sucks the energy out of you and you don't feel as competent. This is always about priming a resourceful mental and emotional state. Understand that the world is abundant. I wish you all the best. Go take some action. Take care. Thank you. Thank you so much.